Hello there. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a great time. Awesome. Hello there, Sadir. Appreciate you tuning in. And everyone else as well on the live stream, both on YouTube and LinkedIn. Appreciate it. Happy to have you along for the journey. It's going to be a good one. We've got Workout Wednesday, week 10. We're already 10 weeks into the year, which is pretty wild. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're dealing with today. So we've got a challenge from Yoshi, which is going to be patient waiting times in the hospital emergency room by 30-minute increments. So we've got kind of a trend bar here that shows how many patients were waiting in every 30-minute interval, and we can see here that by reading the description, if a patient waited from midnight to 12:45 a.m., we want to count them as having waited in both the 0 to 30 and the 30 to, or from midnight to 12:30 a.m. as well as 12:30 to 1 a.m., right? So for each 30-minute increment, how many patients were waiting, right? That's essentially what we're going to be doing. Cool. So, and then we're going to visualize that as a bar chart, and then we're going to have some patient details here to show the patient wait time. So that'll be pretty cool. Data-wise, they've given us a densification data set as well as the actual data set. So let's go get that, and we will download this. Yep, there we go. Very good. Okay, so now let's jump into Tableau here. There we go, and let's connect to. I'm going to connect to the dummy data first. There we go. Let's see what this looks like. And let's figure out how we're going to densify this data here. Index, range start, range end. All right. Let's add a connection as a text file for ER. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. Actually, I think I'll leave this. But then I'm going to create a new data source. And connect to that same file so that we can see it. Okay, so patient wait time. Okay, so patient wait time has already been calculated. So that's good. But what we need to do now is figure out a way to essentially, for this record, we need to have it displayed on 2 records, right? Or on 5 records. So actually what I think I'm going to do, let's open up Tableau Prep. Let's just do all this in Tableau. Let's just do the data prep side in Tableau Prep, because I think that's going to be easier for me and for us to see what's happening, explain what's happening, and that kind of thing. So essentially, as we're waiting for this, I don't like dead time. So what we're going to be doing is essentially we need to figure out how to have this record So this record right here has to show up on 2 rows, right? So we need to densify the data. So we need to split it up for every 30 minutes, right? So let me turn off my do not disturb. There we go. Okay. It's still opening. All right, so this will have 2 records, one for the 0 to 30, and then another one for the another for the other one. Let's look at what that looks like. Let's remove this. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Remove. That removes everything. It's all right. Yeah. So, right, they'll have to have... Right, so this will have 2 records, right? It'll have a 0 to 1, it'll be on the 0 to 29, and then it'll also be on the 30 to 59, right? So there are some that we'll have to, come on. Tableau Prep takes a long time to open for me. But we'll get there. So that's essentially what we have to do. I have to figure out a way so that we can join up the dummy data set to this, so that there we go. Okay. So connect to data, Microsoft Excel, downloads. This is a densification data set. We will add another data source as a text file for the hospital ER data. So if I take this and I join it here, I think what we're going to do is, if we look at this, yeah, so we want the patient wait time to be greater than or equal to, not equal to, we want it to be, so we want the patient wait time, I think I want to flip this around. So let's do that and join that together, just like that. So now I'll have my wait time will be greater than the range start, and my wait time will be less than or equal to the range end. So now, what were we looking at? Let's go back to this data source. And let's look for 14539, 14539, and he still only has 1 row of data. And because he's there, so what if we, there we go. Okay. Yeah. There it is. Right? So where the patient wait time is greater than or equal to the range start, he now has 2 records, right? Let's see. Let's pick another one. Let's just make sure this is working. So 89746. 89746. 3852. he waited for 55 minutes. So 0 to 29, and yep, okay. So let's see if we can find a big one. Okay, we can't. All right. So yeah, it looks like there isn't one. Nobody waited for more than, let's see, just to make sure here. If we go, let's add a clean step. We're just doing some, right? So we've got, yeah. So nobody waited for more than an hour. Okay, got it. Okay. So yeah. So I think this works, right? So we just want the patient wait time to be greater than or equal to the range start. Right? So, yeah. Right. Cool. All right. So now we know how to make that work. So let's go back to this. Yeah, we'll just do it here. Let's just output this. Browse. We'll call it wait time dense as a hyperfile. Okay, and then let's run it. Done. Okay. And let's close these data sources. And close this one. Connect to data. More. Oh, come on. There it is. There we go. Okay. So now what we need to do is we want to so now that we got here, we need to basically separate out every 30-minute increment of every 30 minutes essentially, right? So let's do, oh yeah, okay, so I need to figure out a way to truncate the day. So let's see, we have multiple years of data. Okay, quarter. Interesting. Okay. So we need to have so people who waited. Okay, all right. So let's do, we need to normalize our dates, right? So that we can grab, so this will be norm time, and this is going to be date trunc to the minute of date start. Well, no. We want, first we got to make date time, right? Make date. The year is just going to be our just a normalized date, right? So just a normalized year. Month will be month of month start, date start, and day will be day of date start, date, yeah. Okay, so that closes that. Yep, that closes that. So now I need to do make time, which is just going to be the hour of date part, hour of date start, date part, minute of date start, and yeah, I don't think I need, well, I guess I need, there we go. Yeah, I guess why not, right? So date part second of date start. Date part date start, there you go. Okay. So now everything is exact date. No. Okay, so there's the norm date time. Let's rename this to norm date time. And now we need to, so if I switch this to there, right, it's everybody that all right, let's do that first part first. Let's do department referral, date start, date end, and then we basically just need to, as I'm patient ID, and then wait time, okay. Okay. So we do have, okay. let's see here. I'm trying to think. Let's see what this looks like. 89234. Oh. So, right, it would be his minimum, right? Because we, yeah, there we go. Okay. Whew. All right, so there's that. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to know the so he should have 3, yep, and he's gonna have one from because he'll have discrete, yep, okay, but we need to have him all right, so let's do let's just get him and then we'll go from there, right? So keep only, oop, nope, keep only, let's just work on him. So what we need to do is we need to have the because I mean they're not always gonna, yeah. Let's do this. Let's do a dimension discrete 0 and 1 2. Okay, so we have the date start and the date end. So we need to separate. So this one will be 38 to well, we just need to break it up, right? We just need to break it up into, and we'll do norm date time instead here. Well, norm date time start. I think I'm going to need both. So we'll do date time end, date end, Oop. Yeah, I did the wrong one. And here. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to break up every 30 minutes. So that would be, I'm going to do time index, which is going to be make time. And I want it to be the date part of hour. And then the minute, oh, the date is going to be the norm date start. Norm date time start. Trying to think here. What are we trying to do? I need to have okay. Let's just do it really easy here. Let's just do, if I wanted to truncate this at the hour, right? So that's the hour. And then if I do just, here are the number of patients that waited. And then I could do a date start on quarter. Quarter one, date start, year 2019. Well, I guess let's do date start on continuous quarter, range of dates, relative. No. Date start, continuous. There we go, continuous. Well, I want, no. Well, whatever. I had it there, right? So date start, quarters, quarter one, date end, nope, date start year 2019. What? Okay. Q2. Okay, now I need to break up the so that's just at the number of hours, right? So if I were to do so that's at the minute, right? So if we do date part minute of date start less than 30. Then I want to if date part of minute is less than 30, so that's anything from 0 to 29, then we're going to make time, which is going to be the date part of hour of date start. The minute is going to be 0. Else if it's less than, so if it's 0 to 29, it's we're gonna round down to the 0. Therefore, everything else is just going to be at the 30, right? So we'll just do this at the 30. Oh, and I gotta add seconds here. Okay. Click OK. Exact date. I should have 2 records. Perfect. Okay. So now, so I think that's, but that's just the number of here. Yeah, that's just the number of people that started waiting during that hour, right? That started waiting during this time, right? Because if I do this, yeah, see, it's all there. And what I actually want is, you know, this to be, so this, yeah, so 1:30, this will be 2 o'clock, this will be 2:30. Can I do, what if we do add time, so that would be calculation 1 plus the plus case index when 0, then 0 when 1, then 30, when 2, then 60. And do I have any? Is it just 0, 1? Okay, so 3, 4. But I don't remember, we don't have anybody. We just have 0, 1, and 2. 0, 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. And close that. Now, the question is that going to add 30 minutes or 30 days, right? Like that's, let's see. Yeah, it added 30 days. Okay, so how do we add 30 minutes? Calculation 1 plus, I guess it could be, instead of this, it would be what? Date add, and we want to add minutes. The interval is actually going to be that, and the date is going to be that. Right? Does that make sense? Let's see. Minute. Okay, there you go. Right? So now, what we need to do, label 1, 1, okay. So, yep, and then you can, this is now exact date, discrete. There we go. Okay. So I've got all the way to midnight, right? So I've got midnight here to midnight here. Let's see. I've chosen, let's show this filter and show this filter. So Q2 of 2019. Let's see if we're close. 60, 72, 70. I'm not. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 62, 70. So, oh, I need to think about I need to think about this here, right? Because I'm just doing it based off of add. And because this is saying, as you can see here, like here, right? This patient right here is in, because they started the day before at, so let's go look at how, let's go see what this is for this guy. Edit. None. I want 6618. 661 86 216. Yeah, so because that, so we have 11:15 till, yeah, see, it's not going to the next it's not going over to the next day. So it's doing, my first row is 11 to 11. So, right, so 11 to 11:30. But then I should have, well, that's what this is. That's 11 to 11:30, right? And then this one is going to be, so yeah, this is 11 to 11:30. This is 11:30 to 11:40, 11 to midnight. But then I don't have the ability to figure out, because the way that I'm yeah, so okay, let's see. This is kind of interesting. This is an interesting challenge for sure. So 66186. Yep. So I agree. He should have 2. But his, right, he should have, yeah, I agree with that, right? Like, but the issue is that we're not accounting for going multiple days. Let's see. Because this one, yeah. He started in the 11 o'clock. He went to that. Okay. So actually what should happen is I need to have my add time needs to be so he should have a record for 11 and 11:30. Shouldn't he have 3 records though? No. He only has... Okay. This is tricky. And that's why, that's why my numbers are so off, is because I should have people that are coming from the previous day, right? Let's see. I gotta see something to get me started here, because okay. Let's see how we did this. Let's see how far off I was. Because I'm struggling with this one, and that's okay. Struggling is fine. Struggling is part of the learning process, right? We struggle to learn, or we struggle so that we can learn. Let's see. densified start. Okay, so 30-minute unit pre, so date time, so he's creating one with a float minus an integer. Okay. Date add, we're gonna add minutes, and we're gonna add range start. He's created bins. 0 date start decimal, 0 bin size 30 minute. Expand all. Densified start. This one, right? Yeah. Okay. Densified date start 30-minute unit. 0 date start decimal. Okay, so he's converting, so numbers, so dates in Tableau are essentially floats, are, decimal points, right? And the integer is the 8-digit date, and the decimal is the decimal part of a date, right? If you think about Excel, right? If you were to write a date time in Excel and then convert that into a number, you'd be left with, okay. So he's started this as a decimal. Oh, not that. And then 0 bin size, 30-minute interval, and then so he's gonna bin. Okay, that's just 3 integers. So 24 by 60 is 1 day. 1 minute is 1 divided by that, and then so 30 is okay. That makes sense. So we take this decimal, we divide it by that, and then we multiply it back by that, and then take the floor of that and then convert that back into a date time. Interesting. Range date start. Or what was it? Range. So we're going to start. So we're going to add minutes to our date start. So let's look at what this looks like. So let's take patient ID. Yep. Let's do date start. Let's do date end. Let's do range. How did he join this up? I'm interested. Okay, yeah, that and that. He unioned it? With what? Interesting. So date. So the relationship calculation is date. Okay. I see what he's. Wait a minute. Okay. So date diff of. So the start date is date start plus the floor of the integer of date start minus the integer of date start. Bend every 30 minutes. And then we do the same thing for the end date, and that's going to get you to 0, 30, 60, 120, 180, right? And then that is joined, or that's related to greater than or equal to the range start. But what I don't know is why this is a union. And I don't have the data for that. So there we go. That's interesting. There you go. Well, Alan, this is a tricky one for me. There's a lot going on here. So I'm gonna have to spend some time with this one, because Yoshi has stumped me, and that's okay. It's okay to be stumped. But yeah, this is let's see what I know that let's see. Let's go back. Let's see what Donna put together for this. Okay, well, gonna have to for the sake of time, this is gonna take me too much time. I've already spent an hour on it, and I haven't really gotten that far. So we're going to have to circle up. I'm going to have to spend some time with this, understand it, figure it out. Maybe I'll put together a wrap-up blog, or I'll just do a regular video to figure out how this worked. But we'll be back next week. So, it's all right. This one's tricky. Date times in Tableau, especially when it comes to like duration and stuff like that, Tableau it really takes a lot more time to figure out. So kudos to Yoshi and for Donna for figuring this out in such a short amount of time. Certainly there's probably a live stream element to it, so if I had been, in my own head and not trying to do this, I might have been able to figure this out. But anyway, for the most part, I think this is pretty straightforward. But yeah, I've been vested. I've been bested. So it's all right. It's all good. These are why we work out, right? Not every workout can be an easy one, because then we wouldn't be able to get better, right? So take a few moments, spend some time with this one, break it down, understand it, and see what you can do. See what you can do with it. So thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Go forth and viz.